Good morning, everybody. I'd like to go ahead and call the joint city-county school board meeting to order. If everybody would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is over in the left side corner. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll move on to introductions, and I'll start with the city of Stewart. I'm Troy McDonald. I'm mayor of the city. And if we can just start down here at this end with Chris Collins.
Christopher Collins, Stewart City Commission. Hey!
From the back. Campbell Ridge, Stewart City Commission.
Mike Mortel, Stewart City Manager.
Yay.
And we'll just go back, start over with the school board and work our way around.
It's going to be one of those days.
Thank you, embarrass me.
Chrishley Roberts, School Board.
Jennifer Russell, School Board.
Michael D. Terlizzi.
Michael Main, Superintendent.
Taryn Krista, Village Manager for Village of Indiantown.
Janet Hernandez, Village of Indiantown.
Susan Gibbs Thomas, Village of Indiantown.
Garrett Olson, Assistant Village Attorney, Village of Indiantown.
Don Donaldson, Martin County County Administrator. I was wondering what was going to happen. You know?
I mean, if we left you out, it'd be really awkward.
That's okay, as long as there's no booze.
Doug Smith, Martin County Commissioner.
Stacy Hetherington, Martin County Commissioner.
Ed Campy, Martin County Commissioner. Thank you, Mike.
Sarah Hurd, County Commission.
Sarah Woods, County Attorney.
Well, thank you, everyone. We'll move on to public comment. I don't have any comment cards. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. First agenda item is county capital improvement projects. And who will be doing that for the county?
If I can get the presentation started.
You know, before you start, I thought it was interesting that Ed's photo from Palm City was up on the screen, and I guess he's chair, so he gets the opening screen image, but then they changed to District 1, so.
I didn't notice.
I'm surprised.
All righty. My name is Chris Getzfried. I'm the Capital Projects Administrator for Martin County. I'm going to go through what Public Works has been working on since the last meeting and what we will be working on in the near future. Our neighborhood restoration program, we've got quite a few projects somewhere in the process. We've got Hope Hills and Beau Rivage that are finishing up. We have Coral Gardens, which is just starting. Port Salerno, New Monrovia, that's a project along with the Martin County Utilities Department. They are going to be constructed simultaneously to minimize impacts and to for purposes of efficiencies. And then we have Cove Ridge also starting. Cove Ridge is also known as Port Salerno Peninsula. It's a small neighborhood off of US 1 Southeast Village Road. I want to point out that a lot of these projects are in phases. The phase 1 is the underground drainage improvements, followed by resurfacing of the roads. And the reason why we sort of separated them is a lot of these projects are in connection with the septic to sewer conversion program, so we don't want to resurface the roads before the actual utility work is getting done. So we separate them out. But then small projects like the Cove Ridge project already has utilities, full water and sewer, so that's going to be a full neighborhood restoration. It's going to go from the drainage, there's a lot of sidewalk improvement there, right into resurfacing of the roads. So the Phase 2 projects are projects that we've been working on the underground for a little while now, and are now going to go to the second phase. And Golden Gate, you'll see there, that was a 2-year utility construction project that started after we did our maintenance, our underground work, and now we're going to go in and finally pave it and finish it out. And Hibiscus Park, that's another one that we'll just get the Phase 2 resurfacing. For roadway resurfacing projects, we're just finishing up the 2 Salerno roads, each end of Salerno, the east end between US 1 and Commerce, and then the west end, which is between Willoughby and Canner Highway. Those 2 are both wrapping up. And we will be starting the Dixie Highway from Monterey to 5th. That's in the city of Stuart, and that it will be paved at night, so that should minimize disruptions. It's also good that it's being done in the summer months so that we're not affecting school transportation. That should be finished up pretty quickly, though. It's a small project, and I think we've got 90 or 120 days on the project till completion. Starting off is going to be Cove Road. That's actually got a notice to proceed for Monday. And then Indian Street, which is another busy road that's going to cause some traffic disruptions. That's going to be going out to bid by, I think, either late June, early July. There are 3 sidewalks on the project. The East Ocean Boulevard sidewalk is just finishing up. Salerno Road sidewalk is just starting. That fills a gap of sidewalk on the north side of Salerno between Willoughby Boulevard and US 1. So now there'll be a continuous sidewalk on both sides of Salerno between Willoughby Boulevard and US 1. And the newest sidewalk project we have starting is, that's in the works, is the Southeast Avalon Drive sidewalk. This is a project that connects Salerno Road and Cove Road through the neighborhood of Hibiscus Park. It's a design that we had started along with the Hibiscus Park neighborhood restoration, and was presented to DOT for funding, grant funding in 2021. It was approved, so now we're going to move forward with that with that sidewalk under a Transportation Alternatives Program grant, and that should be under construction early to mid-24. I want to note that all of these projects are funded through either federal or state grants. County Road 714, Martin Highway grade from 710 to Fox Brown Road will be bid soon. And then Jensen Beach Boulevard is another resurfacing project from Savannah Road to Indian River Drive. That won't start before October. It's funded for fiscal year 24. On bridge projects, we are opening bids for Dixie Highway at East Fork Creek Bridge crossing on Wednesday. That is the next bridge south to the Manatee Creek Bridge that was finished in 2019 and just south of Cove Road. This bridge is the County Line Road Bridge. We're just wrapping up design on that. We're pursuing grant funding through the state. We'll know how that grant's funding stands, hopefully early July, and we're proposing to kick that project off in fiscal year '24. And on the ecosystem projects updates, everyone's probably aware of the big STA that's being constructed on US 1, just south of Mariner Sands. That's the Phase 1 project. It's a 20-acre STA wetland restoration. That's just finishing up. It'll probably be finished in August, September. Phase 2 is a deep cell treatment along the Mariner Sands border on the East Fork Creek. That will be going out to bid hopefully July, August. It's in connection with the Phase 1 of the project in terms of water quality, and it's an important component. Manatee Creek STA, this is just north of Cove Road. It meanders through into the pocket, and that's design's about 80% complete. I think there was some property transfer that just occurred. It was just approved by the board, so that will be moving forward here pretty quickly. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
Commissioner
Yes,
Clark,
ma'am.
and please remind everybody to speak into the microphone.
Thanks. Hi, thank you, Mr. Gottfried. This is not about any of the projects that you put up, but I just had a question. I don't know if it's Market Street or Fisher Street, but it's a street that goes out to Aldi's between going to Walmart there. It's between the car place and Aldi's, so is that Fisher Street or Marketplace? Miami Street, okay, it's one of, so that street there has a sign that says Upland Preserve in that area that's right at the corner of Commerce and that street, Miami Street. I just wanted to find out if that was a county's, that was just one thing. And then the other thing was, same place in that area, just to the south of New Code 2 and behind Hog Industries, there's a whole bunch of wetlands in there, and I was just wondering if that was county or if that was private. I hadn't checked it on the land map. But, you know, Hog Industries has a lake already marked out, but then there's a whole bunch of wetlands back in there, and I was wondering if that was county and if it might be scheduled for any type of...
That's within the city
Oh,
boundary.
that's, but I'm just asking
Yeah,
because
that's within the city boundary.
Mike, okay, all of that goes, okay, that's not in the county then, that part?
It's in the city limits, but the parcel that's dedicated, that has the sign, is actually a 20-acre dedication that the city dedicated when the Aldi's, the Walmart, and the other properties were developed. They consolidated all of their upland preservation into that one. It's also behind those townhouses
And we're going to
that were
keep
built.
that as it
It's
is?
dedicated as preservation as part of the development orders, so it's not available for development in any way.
What about the new code? Because I know the city and the county limits goes in and out, back and forth. That's why I was just asking. The one behind New Code 2, that's all, that's still city also?
There's, if we're speaking about the same properties, in those developments, we required them to dedicate stormwater as well as upland preservation as part of the PUD approvals, and as a result, those preservation areas are restricted as part of the PUDs.
Okay, all right, thanks. I went behind New Code 2, and I didn't realize that all that water was back there. That's,
Board Member Roberts?
Thank you. The project that's on Jensen Beach Boulevard, does that include anything at the railroad crossing?
No, the project, the resurfacing goes up to the crosswalks or up to the roundabout on each side of the railroad crossing. So we don't go into the railroad right-of-way.
Okay, Because I thought I heard you say that it was going all the way to Indian River Trail.
Well, it is. It just makes that gap. It jumps that gap, because that was recently done with the railroad, the Brightline work.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to the next item, city utilities and engineering projects. Peter Cunin. Peter, thank you.
Is it the first time?
Second. Did it last time.
Good morning, everyone. Peter Cunin, City of Stuart, Director of Utilities and Engineering. Good to see everyone here this morning. I have updates for you on some City of Stuart projects since the last time we met. The first project involves the continued milling, resurfacing, pavement rejuvenation, microsurfacing of local streets within the City of Stuart. It's a project that is just a continuous type of project that the city has embarked upon, and we're continuing with the microsurfacing and rejuvenation of more of our streets within the city. Right now, we're currently working in our Zone 5 portion of the city. And as I mentioned, more pavement restoration work will continue. It's something that we've budgeted for, and we'll continue working on these streets as time goes on.
Sounds like plastic surgery.
In some respects, yes, it is definitely a form of cosmetic work. That's correct. We have, with stormwater projects, we have several projects that are currently getting wrapped up and are going to be moving forward to being placed out for bids for construction this summer. The first one is the Northwest Dixie Highway Ditch Improvement Project, which is located in the North Stuart area along Dixie Highway, and it's the restoration, reshaping of an existing drainage ditch along Dixie Highway in the vicinity of Northwest Australian Street, and primarily it's to alleviate flooding issues in the Riverside Park neighborhood of the City of Stuart. That project, as I mentioned, will be placed out for bids for construction this summer, and we're looking at awarding that project for construction in the early fall. The next stormwater improvement project is the Southeast Illinois Avenue Living Shoreline Project. And as the title describes, it is a living shoreline on along the river on Illinois Avenue. And living shoreline will involve planting plants along the shoreline that will help with nutrient removal of the stormwater discharge prior to entering the river. That project is also is going to be it's out for bids at the moment. Right now, we're looking at having the award of this particular project in September of this year, and construction will take place in 2024. Southeast Mango Place is another stormwater improvement project that the city has, and that involves, it's also on Mango Place along the St. Lucie River, involving stormwater improvements, water quality improvements as well, to help improved drainage improvements on that street southeast Mango Place. Now, we have some storm water and sewer projects, utility projects that are currently in construction. The first is the Sailfish Ball Field force main. It's a relocation of a force main around the Stewart Middle School. Project's currently in construction, and we're looking at that project being substantially completed this month, and with final completion of the project and closeout in July. Another ongoing project that the City of Stewart has, it's for our reverse osmosis water treatment facility, currently in construction. And it involves the construction of a new reverse osmosis facility at our water treatment plant, the construction of a pipeline for the concentrate from the reverse osmosis process that will get pumped over to our water reclamation facility, where we have modifications to our existing deep injection well. And all these projects are in construction as we speak. The timeline for completion of the project, all three projects, and having this reverse osmosis facility in production is in early 2024, first quarter of 2024. So we're looking at having that facility in full production early next year. And with that, that concludes an update of the projects that the City of Stewart has. Are there any questions that you may have for me at this time?
Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll move on to the next item, Village Capital Projects Update. Patrick Nolan, Public Works Director for the Village of Indiantown.
Good morning. I'm Pat Nolan. I'm the Director of Public Works and Utilities for the Village of Indiantown. We've got a few projects ongoing. Some of them most of them we talked about at the last meeting. The first one on the Public Works side is the Uptown Roadway and Drainage Repair Project. That is in the design phase, and that project is being funded through the Department of DOT. Second public works project that we have going on is the Seminole Drive and Magnolia Generator Project. What that project is a drainage project over in Seminole Drive, and then the hardening of our Magnolia lift station. That is in the design phase as well. We have another project, another public works, Southwest Lincoln Street roadway and drainage. We have some drainage issues, and also the roadway needs to be resurfaced over there in Lincoln. We've submitted that to the state for funding, and we're just waiting for the governor to sign off, and hopefully we get the funding and we can start that project. Over on the water utility side, we've got a little bit more going on than public works. The first project that we've been working on since I've arrived at the Village of Indiantown is an update of the water treatment plant. That's through state revolving funds. We are out to bid, and we're receiving bids next Friday, so hopefully the bids come in budget so that we can move forward on the project. Along with that water project, we've got another water project plant that we're going to start. With the development of the Village of Indiantown and developers that are coming to the village, we realize that we need to increase our capacity. So we have embarked on a project to design a RO plant with Florida Wells, a deep injection well,
And we just started that process at the last village board meeting. We were able to move forward on the design of the wells. As everybody, all the other utilities in the room know, it takes about a 9 or 10-month process to permit for the wells. So we got a jump start on that. We're starting it now as we're looking funding for this project. We have the Railroad Avenue Water Main Project. That's a project that we have already designed, but we're looking for funding. This project is important to the village because it is the backbone of the village water utility system. That water main is 100 years old. So as every project, we're looking for funding, and once we get funding, we'll be able to hit the ground because we have designed that project already. 12-inch water main loop project. That is a extension of our 12-inch water main on Southwest Farm Road. It'll bring us up to Silver Fox, over to 710, and then down 710 and reconnect to an existing water main. What that'll do is strengthen the system up in that area and also provide for some fire flow that we do not have. That's presently in design. Hopefully, we're going to put that out to bid sometime late July. 151st and Osceola Street water main. That was another project that's already been designed. We couldn't get funding the first round. We attempted to get funding for this project, but we just found out that Congressman Mast's office appropriated funding for this project. So as soon as we get the paperwork finalized, we're going to put that out to bid and start construction on that project. Wastewater side. We're also embarking on updating the wastewater facilities. We are in design on that, and we are very fortunate that we have acquired funding from the state of Florida due to appropriations through the governor's office. So that project is fully funded. It is in design, and we hope to get it out there on the street sooner than later, as well as other infrastructure projects that we have throughout the village that will tie into the wastewater project. And we wouldn't have that funding if it wasn't for the efforts of Kevin Powers and Josh Kellum. So anytime I speak about that project, I have to thank those two gentlemen because they have helped the village immensely. And this last slide is really not our project, but it affects the village of Indiantown immensely, and that is the Indiantown High School. If you drive by in Citrus, you'll see the school is going up, but what you don't see is the infrastructure that's going in the ground. There is a 12-inch water main that's was put in from Timer Powers Park to the school, and also a force main that goes from the school into the village to 150th Street. So that will also enhance our infrastructure over on Citrus and also enable the school to open. And as far as the infrastructure goes, the contractor is on time, so that should not impede the opening of the school. Any questions?
No, Pat, I just wanted to mention that looping project that you had on there is the one that the county partnered with us in funding to help us provide that
Yes.
$3.2 million project. So we appreciate the partnership that we had with the county in getting those funds.
Yeah, thank you for that, Taryn. And also the project for the school was also funded by
Yes.
Martin County for the water, wastewater connections so that the school can move forward.
The schools, if you haven't been out there, it's there. I mean, they're like ants out there working every day.
So I apologize for that, but as Taryn just stated, we're working with the county more and more every day, and we do appreciate the resources, very much so.
Yes, we do.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you. We'll go on to the county and village development update with Samantha Lovelady and Taryn Krista providing those.
Actually, I'm going to have Lucy Mendoza do the presentation on the planning side.
Okay.
She's our planning assistant in the planning department, and so, Lucy. Sam, do you want her over there with you? Or how are you guys doing that?
Sure, she can come on over. So I'm Samantha Lovelady with Martin County Growth Management, and I'm here to update you on the growth and development report that's required by interlocal agreement. And we have provided the 2022 just as informational. For between January and May of 2023, we've approved 56 multifamily units. Non-residential, well, you have, for non-residential, you also have the 2022 information. But for 2023 so far, we're at 97,770 square feet of non-residential. And you can see the projects there. If you have any questions about any of them, let me know. And we have all of these projects in review. And non-residential in review. And with that, I will take any questions for the county. And just as a reminder, we do have the interactive map in case people want to zoom in on any project.
Any questions? Okay, we'll move on to the Village of Indiantown.
Hello, everyone. Lucia Mendoza with the Village of Indiantown Community. Sorry, this is heavy. Community Development Department. I'm here presenting our department to show you exactly what we have in the works within the Village of Indiantown, how much interest we have in our area. Currently, no text amendments to report, so we're just going to move on to the next slide here. Residential approvals for January through April. We have Terra Lago. I know it's not new to you, but their phases come in individually for approval. Terra Lago has been approved for 236 more units. And that location of this phase here will be right off of 710 and 609. River Oak is another project that has mixed attached and detached single-family homes, 176 homes approved as well. So those are the new units that we've seen gone through with approvals. But here at the bottom, just want to make sure you're aware, we've had a total of 1,064 units, residential units, that have gone through for approval. This is our development activity. Our development activity that we currently have, new interest here. U.S. Advanced Transportation, they're looking to park semi-trailers out in Venture Park PUD. East Coast Metal Structures is a steel manufacturing facility. His work has been everywhere. Hard Rock Hotel, he's done steel framing for churches, charter schools, so he has a very big interest in coming and unifying two of his locations out into one solid location in Indiantown. Kendall Industrial is another company looking to come out to the Venture Park area. He is very, has beautiful work with ornate stonework. You can see some of his stonework on Worth Avenue buildings, in front of churches and courthouses. So he has he has a very good design team that he's looking to bring to one location in Venture Park. These applications are currently in review. And of course, the same approvals that you saw before. Grindhard is a ammunition manufacturing facility that will be off of Farms Road. We're very excited. I know he's in a building already here off of the old YMCA building, and this would be his second location, and he is starting with just site access work currently. Under construction, Biomedical Industrial Park, he will be manufacturing eye drops, and Green Carbon Solutions is manufacturing carbonated mulch. Seminole Junction, 28 homes that should be done about, I'm estimating around September. And he has 28 townhomes. He's located in the Booker Park area, and he is going really, really quick, very, very excited for him to be done. He's also in review for the Seminole Crossings, 24 single-family homes. And so far, what we built already in Village of Indiantown, Casa Bella, and Tractor Supply. So they're up and open and running. They have tenants already in Casa Bella. This is the Venture Park PUD that I mentioned, and all of the companies that are coming with their interest into this area. They have been applying, and so far, these are our new interest right here on this side. They're right off of 710 Warfield Boulevard here, and this is Fox Brown Road here. Again, with all this new development, we are in need of a new water plant because we have so much land in the Village of Indiantown. We know that the projects will continue to come. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. Good morning.
Commissioner Clark?
Nice to meet you.
Good morning.
How large is that venture park in terms of acreage?
Acreage, I don't know off the top of my head, but it is 24 lots, 24 split lots. Can I go back to that one?
And your total square footage that you're planning for, like people coming in for manufacturing? Or you can send it to me.
We got a couple 100,000 on the pre-app,
Yes.
a couple 100,000. So they're actually acquiring the lots in Venture Park. So that's part of the attraction to these business owners is that they're actually going to own the land. They're not leasing it.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Heatherington?
Is Venture Park the same as the old juice plant, or that looks like?
No, it's across the street. This is the old juice plant right over here. This, I'm sorry, can you go back one?
Which is also industrial. park
Yes.
now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he currently
here.
on the old juice plant has 17 active businesses operating on that site.
On his area.
I attended a Indiantown Chamber of Commerce
Right.
event out there, and I was very impressed how they took the old juice plant,
Mm-hmm.
converted it to new industrial space. It was very impressive.
Commissioner Collins?
I just want to commend Indiantown on what appears to me a recipe of giving future residents the opportunity to own homes, along with creating jobs. I'd love to see that, so good job, guys.
Thank you.
That's the goal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, I toured Indiantown a few months ago with Kevin Powers regarding an MPO issue, and it was pretty amazing what is happening out there, especially with, like Commissioner Heatherington said, the old juice plant and the data mining operation was really fascinating. So I'd never seen so many computers in one place. So that was quite interesting. Ms. Thompson, Councilwoman Thompson, or Mayor, I guess it is, I'm sorry.
Mayor Thomas, Gibbs Thomas.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for recognizing what is going on. I'm sitting here and I'm just tired watching this presentation and all the things and the staff, what they are accomplishing and what they are doing. We appreciate our staff. I enjoy seeing Lucy up here, and what Mr. Nolan does is just amazing. And just keep an eye on us. We're growing.
Don't try to steal any of our employees.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got Renee.
Any other questions?
I just want to go onto the record for the city of Stewart. They are normally included in this report, but they had nothing to report for the first part of the year, so.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, so we'll move on to the next item. It'll be the school district update, and Mr. Michael Main, the new superintendent, will. Thank you.
Good job, Lucy.
Good morning, Michael Main, Superintendent, School District, and Mark Seacrest. I'm going to have him open up our presentation with our capital projects update.
So good morning, everyone. Mark Seacrest, Director of Facilities and Planning. So today it may look like
we only have 2 projects to present, but actually this first slide is our school district office. That project has been going on for the past year. Right now, you're looking at the current repaint of that whole building that used to be the Stewart News Building. So we had a repaint of the exterior, a re-roof of the building, and we're actually building a school district boardroom, multi-purpose room in the warehouse. So that project, the boardroom itself, we are expecting to finish sometime this month. Furniture's coming in July, so we're getting excited because that's going to be a big transition for the district and actually having a new boardroom and a multi-purpose room. So this is just a general map of all of our sites in case everybody wants to find a school site, but this is how they're located throughout the district and the county. So Jensen Beach Elementary, I apologize, when these slides were created, we're already 20 to 30 days beyond this point. They are currently finishing base rock, paving, concrete curb around all the drives are in place and the parking areas. They're actually working on the walkway canopies up here and sidewalks, so it's progressing daily at this point with the target of trying to get all these in place before the start of school. Right now, both schools are pretty much at the same pace. We're trying to get all of the old buildings removed. Right now, at both sites, we actually have all the existing school removed, and they're putting in the new parking lots and parking areas. So it's exciting. The only difference with Jensen Beach and Palm City is the old school was in the way of the front of the school at Jensen Beach. So now they're having to rebuild all that. But when we opened Palm City, we already had the front of the school established. We just didn't have the full car loop established. So over the summer months, they're building the retention areas, they're extending the car loop, and at Jensen, they're actually going to create the drive into the new parent loop. So we're dividing the bus loop and the parent loop. It won't be at the same drive as it was before. We're roughly in the high 90s on both schools. Like I said, they're gonna be opened for August so that we can use the new parent loops, bus loops, sidewalks, drives, parking areas. We had to make do with what we had available on the site from basically January to May. That'll all change again to where it'll meet the final design. I'll turn it over to Superintendent Michael Main.
For me. Thank you, Mark. So it's a pleasure to meet all of you this morning and today. I've had the opportunity to meet some of you out in various events and different things throughout the community, and I look forward to meeting those that I haven't as we proceed forward with the work. So it's a pleasure this morning to be able to introduce myself a little bit more to you and my 90-day entry plan to the district and what will be forthcoming over the next school year. Our house in Vero Beach officially went under contract yesterday, so we're excited about that, and which means that my wife and I can proactively get really busy looking for a home here in Martin. It is our goal to have our 4 beautiful daughters in the school system starting in August, so and to join the community as residents. So thank you. Sounds good. So if you own a home, have a home, homes for sale, know of a home, let me know. All right, so there are a few things that really personally drive me, and we're going to interweave these into my leadership throughout here at the district. And the first one of those personal values is courage. I've met with all senior leadership staff, directors, principals over the last couple of weeks, and I've asked them to really dig deep in what courage means to them to take risks. Status quo is no longer going to work, right? More of the same is no longer going to work. We have to do a better job as a school district if we want to get our A back, to push forward and to think outside the box and to really come up with creative ideas that are going to allow our students to be able to flourish. And so my commitment to the team is to inspire them to think big every single day. Every day to have big ideas, to come to the table with solutions, and to push ourselves to be creative in the work that we are doing as educators. The second one is belief, making sure that we understand and believe in when we say all means all. All students have the ability to achieve at high levels, regardless of their background, their upbringing, where they come from. And I firmly believe that every student has a genius. And so you will hear me throughout talk about every child having a genius. It may not be in academics. It may be in music. It may be in sports. It's in something. And so it's important for our educators to tap into, and our principals to find ways to cater to the genius in every child so that we are creating well-rounded students in our system. The third is commitment. A commitment to each other as a governing body, a board, superintendent, principals, teachers, district staff, to commit and believe that what we are setting out to accomplish is going to be our very best work every single day. My goal, my number one goal as taking over as superintendent is for the Martin County School District to be the number one school district in the state of Florida. I have said that on multiple times. We can clap for that. If we have a school district that is the number one school district in the state of Florida, and if we achieve that, that's the economic driver for the community. Businesses will come. They want their kids to be in our schools, and we will be able to be the example for other school districts to follow. And once we meet that goal as the number one district in the state of Florida, we will then move on to push ourselves to be the number one district in the nation. That is a very big task, but as a task that we're willing to take on, we have the team to do it, and we are committed to make sure that you have the very best school district in this community. So I told staff it's all about going through the brick wall for kids. If I'm willing to go through the brick wall and the board is willing to go through the brick wall, then I need all of our teachers and staff to be willing to go through the brick wall for kids. They deserve nothing less. So we'll go through briefly these entry plan goals. The first one is to host listening sessions. We've started some of those already, but be on the lookout for the development of a superintendent's student advisory council. I will be meeting with students kindergarten through 12th grade to really get monthly to understand and know directly from students what they are experiencing every day and the changes that we need to make, what's working, what's not working, and what we need to fix. Along with those, that advisory council will be the Parent Community Business Partner Superintendent Advisory Council. We will meet with them monthly as well so that I could hear directly from the business community, the community partners, as well as our parents on things that we need to change. Principal circles have already started last month. I've had the opportunity to meet personally, just as superintendent, with the principals, no other staff around, so that they can be honest and open and transparent and real with the problems that they're facing daily at their school sites and what we can do to improve upon those things. Number two, student achievement. It's all about student achievement. Every single job that we do, regardless of whether you are in facilities, whether you are in transportation, what you do is all about student achievement. If it's not improving student achievement outcomes for our students, then I don't necessarily really want to hear about it. We have to do a better job in making sure that we are raising outcomes for kids. And so it's all about accountability, high expectations, and making sure that we are data-driven, focused in the decisions that we make. Number three is making sure that we are providing the board and the community members opportunities to engage. And so next year, this school year, we will be going through our Cognia accreditation process for the next 5 years. That will give us the ability to take the results of the Cognia accreditation process and put it into a 5-year strategic plan, aligning our goals over the next 5 years to what's important to be making sure that we are reaching that goal of being the number one district in the state of Florida. And you all will have the opportunity to engage in that process with us. Number four is work with district level teams. Our deployment of resources has to happen strategically around where the data shows that we have the most need. We cannot deploy resources to places that are doing well. We need to deploy resources to our greatest areas of need. So we're going to continue to hyper-focus our district through the reorg plan that the board will be approving, hopefully on Tuesday, no pressure. and helping me to make sure that we are leveraging key personnel and departments for operation efficiency within the district. Number 5, collaborate with teachers, all voices heard and respected, regardless of whether you are an instructional staff member, a bus driver, or a secretary. I want to hear from our boots on the ground. No longer will we be making top-down level decisions. We need to be making decisions from the ground up so that we can hear directly from the people who are working the daily grind. Thank you. Number 6, developing trust and collaborative relationships. This is something that I pride myself in. Transparency, transparency, transparency. Sometimes almost to a fault, right? So we have to make sure that we are communicating effectively, that we are transparent in everything that we do. If we've made a mistake, own up to the mistake, pick ourselves up, let's move on. We're not always going to make the best decisions, but we do the best we can with the information that we have. And to operate as one body. And the board has blessed me with the opportunity to have their full support, and I know that that is going to continue. And what I mean by one body is it's not superintendent and board, it is one body working collectively together to make sure that we achieve that goal of being the #1 district in the state of Florida. So transparency, high visibility, being out and about throughout the community, and the open lines of communication. And the last piece, I just kind of pull it all together here, and this is what I discussed with the team. We're kind of going through the investigate, what's working, what's not, the innovate, finding ways to really be innovative with what we're doing, and then invigorate through the strategic planning process. Just a breath of fresh air into the community and into our classrooms and into our schools. And so my overall goal with the plan is new visions, new pathways, new possibilities. There will always be new visions for the way we can do things. There will always be new pathways on how we can get there, and both of those things will align to new possibilities for the district and for everything that we do. So if you have not had a chance to review the 90-day plan in its fullest, it is on our website electronically. Our public information officer has put a link to my page. I encourage you to do that, and then if you'd like a hard copy, we can get that for you too. So it's a pleasure, and I look forward to our work together. Thank you. Questions?
Any questions? Commissioner Collins?
I just want to say I really appreciate the spirit of your presentation, your honesty, your focus, your strength, and fortitude. Our kids are the most valuable resource any of us have to steward. And I just really appreciate that you guys put this guy in this position. And I'm looking forward to future presentations and what you're going to be doing with the school board. So thank you. Good job already.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Board Member Roberts?
So we would be remiss when we talk about Jensen Beach Elementary and Palm City Elementary to not again thank the taxpayers and the voters in Martin County for approving that referendum in 2018. That was for 7 years for sales tax. We have 2.5 more years of collections that we will be doing for that, but 4 of the 7 years went to pay for those 2 replacement schools. And then the other thing I would like to ask the team to discuss is to perhaps give some information about the changes at Indiantown, at Warfield, and at Indiantown Middle School. Thank you.
Absolutely. Would you like us to discuss those now? Okay. Mark, go ahead.
So currently at Indiantown, and actually it's Indiantown Middle School, it would be on the northwest corner of the site, we have the building that was originally called One Stop. Now it's an adult learning center. We're trying to utilize that now as the adult learning that used to be at Warfield in the 100-year-old building that was on the northwest corner of Warfield. So we are moving that whole staff and department to the Indiantown site. And what that brought about was we're moving 5th grade from Indiantown Middle back to Warfield Elementary. So currently we are painting, waxing floors, moving furniture at both sites in preparation of an August start.
So it is important to note with that transition or that change, moving fifth grade back to Warfield, we do anticipate a drop in letter grade at Warfield. So the community needs to know that. That data follows those students to Warfield and will then count and calculate into their school grade. Historically, those students have struggled, and so we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that Warfield receives the necessary support to be able to increase those student outcomes there. And then Indiantown Middle School will have the opportunity as a traditional middle school to be able to continue the great work that they are doing and increase their school grade having the traditional model middle school.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Thomas?
Thank you. And thank you for bringing that up, because that was my comments. I want to thank the board, the school board, for once again making Indiantown a traditional, because it's been decades. I was wondering, how long has it been since fifth grade has been on the elementary campus? So we appreciate that. We appreciate it's kind of leveling the playing field there, and we're equal with everybody. We appreciate the expense. We appreciate the effort that has gone into that, because it definitely makes a difference in our community, and we look forward to great things. We really do. Thank you.
Commissioner Clark.
Thanks. Good morning. I have two capacity questions. The first one is, what is the capacity of the school board meeting room area? And the next one is, what is the projected capacity of the high school in Indiantown?
So the first answer to the boardroom, it's actually 4 times bigger than our current boardroom. So we're right around 300 and some seats. It's probably 314 to be exact. But it can actually be broken down into 3 separate spaces. So if you want to have a smaller board meeting, you can use a third of the space, or you can use 2/3 of the space, or all of the space. And then we can actually have breakout sessions during the day when it's not used as a boardroom for all of our staff and school principals, and they can book it and have an actual area like this to work with and collaborate. The second one, I have no part involved with the high school, so I do not have any knowledge of what their capacity is and what they're trying to build for the high school at Indiantown.
I do have some knowledge to that. They were approved for 400 plus seating stations. Their goal is to reach 400 students, but they have the ability to have more than the 400, but that is the number based on the latest work that we have seen. Though that project is operating separate from the school district, just for transparency purposes.
Can I just add to that? I wanted to ask if the school board has any ideas or intention of possibly allowing that larger school board board meeting area to be used for any type of community activity, like a play or something like that, if need be.
So we have the capacity, just so that everybody knows, for all of our facilities to be able to be used by the community. And there's a little bit of cost to it if it's not strictly for students to help recover the piece for the cleaning, et cetera. But anything we have, I mean, and I think we've seen Bookmania at Jensen Beach High School, and we've seen things around all of our different campuses. So the answer to that would be yes.
Board Member Pritchard.
Keeping with the, is this on? I have a loud voice. Keeping with the Indiantown theme, can you talk a little bit about the CTE possibilities going on at the middle school in Indiantown?
Yes, so we're looking to expand the CTE programs at all of our school sites, but particularly at Indiantown Middle School. Jeff Raymond has expressed interest in working with Lana Barros, our director of CTE programs, to increase the offerings that are happening there. I don't want to give away too much information because they're currently working on those things, and we want to be able to push that out. If I promise something and it doesn't happen and we offer something else, else, it wouldn't be good. But we will be offering more programs out at Indiantown Middle School. And Jeff Raymond is a huge champion of extending those programs, so.
Okay. Commissioner Smith? Oh, Commissioner
First,
Heatherington?
And then I'll go second.
Okay.
Also on Indiantown. So that's super exciting news. That's the first I've heard that fifth grade is going back to Warfield. And Susan, I can confirm it has been decades because I attended fifth grade at Indiantown Middle School. And not only did I attend fifth grade, we didn't even have classroom walls. We had a big open room with partitions in between the classrooms with very open classrooms. So come a long way, so that's exciting. And the CTEs, I think that's also exciting. And the younger you can start those CTE programs, I think the more success that we'll have. So congratulations on that.
So that open classroom thing worked out for you.
Well, it's subjective, but so far so good.
Commissioner Smith?
Roy, thank you. I think much, my comments, and sorry I had to step out for a second, but the first part of Michael's presentation, I think what's most exciting for me and the comments coming from Michael, but also I think the collective comments from the electeds here today, I don't know that I've seen since we did the school siting agreement almost 20 years ago, maybe 18 years ago, a more exciting time relative to everybody sitting in this room working together for a really, I think, exciting future. And Michael, I think you're a big part of that. The one piece of what you said is something you and I have talked about, and I think it's certainly important to me, but I think it's important to everybody in this room. It's how do we position ourselves as a county, as a community, as a school board to be the #1 in the state and certainly #1 in the Southeast. It's something that we've talked about for a long time. I have talked to former superintendents about what does it take us to get there and what does that look like. And first and foremost, what I started off by saying the collective group, I don't think I've seen this strong a group in liking each other, maybe is the right word to say it. Collegiate?
Collegial.
In a long time. And I think that allows us the opportunity for what I'm offering at least, and clearly there's 4 others from this board, but what does it take, what will it take from all of us to get you there? And what role does the county play? What role does the city play? Clearly the school board is in charge, but what can we do to be a part of that? Because at the end of the day, if we achieve that, maybe I should say this, when we achieve that, everything else sort of falls into place relative to anything else I think we wanted to achieve in our community, whether it was trying to get a great new company to Indiantown. You certainly have all the underpinnings of everything with your presentation, the new high school, what's going on with Warfield. The storyline is great. And so, at least from my seat, I'm hoping and willing that you all come to us and say, at some point, to be that #1 in that box, it's going to take this from the county, it's going to take this from the city, it's going to take this from Indiantown, it's going to take this from the school board. And I think it could be one of the most exciting times in our history. So great stuff, Michael. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the presentation. I thought it was great as your introduction. And I, for one, am very excited about working with you all to get us there.
I appreciate that. And one final thing with CTE programs. So aviation is near and dear to my heart. Had the opportunity to receive my pilot's license at a very early age. And so one of the things that we're getting ready to unveil is a new, fresh partnership with Embry-Riddle University. So Embry-Riddle will be providing the ground school opportunity at all 3 of our high schools. So essentially our high school seniors will be able to graduate with their ground school for their private pilot's license completely done. And then they'll partner with Civil Air Patrol through the airport to receive the flight portion of the pilot's license, and we're increasing through Embry-Riddle the unmanned drone programs at all 3 program sites through the ROTC program. So I had to throw that in there because that just recently happened, and we will continue those types of things. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I was a class of 2009, so I've seen how the school district has, implemented a lot more programs that helps the everyday student succeed after graduation. But to talk to Commissioner Clark's response in regard of Indiantown High School, they currently have about 45 students signed up, and they're trying to increase that enrollment to like 75. It's going to be phased out for the 400 students, so only this year 9th and 10th grade will be offered, but as the school years pass, so next year 9th, 10th, and 11th will be offered. So I'm excited for Indiantown High School, as so many people have seen. It's happened so fast, like in a blink of an eye, and the things that it offers our students, I, for one, wish I would have been a student during this time, because the advantages of getting out of high school and having AAA, having a CTE certified, going out and already having that experience is a must in this world. So I think that the students come out with so much advantages that they don't know. So I'm a huge advocate for education, because I grew up here. I went to IRSC, so I'm an alumni of IRSC and FAU. So I do know how not everyone wants to go to college and go get a 4-year degree. But having that CTE will give them an advancement in their careers. So I appreciate everything you guys as school board have done for the students in Morgan County. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. DiTerlizzi?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 things. And Doug, you may remember the exact time this concept of meeting like this was constituted. It's around 20 years. I'd like maybe somebody to get us that information, because it's not always been like this. Doug was right. It's not always been this cordial and this collaborative. But it began as a concept in Florida, and I think it was under Jeb Bush. And it was in order to bring the communities together within a county, and to be able to work together and understand what each other are doing. And for those of you who don't have that history, it's been a long road, and it's finally starting to really pick up and work out well. And it gives us each the opportunity to talk to constituents about the different things that are happening within our county, not just our own little kingdoms here, if you want to call them that. Secondly, thank you. Mr. Maine, thank you very much for your presentation. It's a very good start. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on some of the other career technical programs that we've put in recently that are really picking up and gained momentum and will be great, as the Commissioner mentioned, for the students that may not be looking to go to college or are looking for a career start, that will get them there, and they're very good, higher-paying jobs. So, Mr. Maine, if you could just elaborate on those other programs that are new to the district, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So probably one of the most exciting is the turf management program at South Fork High School, and the expansion of that program with the golf course being remodeled or kind of just reinvigorated. So that will give our students the opportunity, working with superintendents at each of the local golf courses, the ability to really understand what that turf management is all about, and to be able to immediately graduate and go out into the community and work work at many of our fabulous golf courses and join those teams. So that is very exciting to learn about all the fertilization, the science, all of the things that are involved in, it's not just cutting grass, right? So many people don't understand the intricacies that go into that. The other piece is the expansion of our welding programs and our HVAC programs. The welding program at County has expanded quite a bit. Over 100 students have joined that program now. That is huge. These students can graduate high school and go into a six-figure salary almost immediately, because welders are at a very much needed. If you can scuba dive and weld, you're looking at $175,000 to $200,000 easy to be able to underwater weld props for some of the large ships and yacht companies. So those are two programs that have just really truly taken off. We obviously have our vet program that will continue at South Fork High School. Lori Vogel is looking to expand her program access at Jensen Beach High School to include possibly cosmetology, as well as a few other programs, automotive program, because there is a need for students who are looking to go in those fields as well, and are not going to college, as one of our individuals stated. So just to name a few, there are a lot. We currently right now have over 100 CTE programs that over the last couple of years went from average of 35 to 40 to over 100, and we will continue to look at that. We can't be everything to everybody. We want to make sure that the programs that we are providing are strong, efficient, and robust in nature, but we do want to make sure we've got a little bit of a lot so that students can dabble and begin to explore what it is that they might want to go into once they leave high school.
Mayor Thomas?
Just a quick note on Indiantown High School. They are giving tours, so just contact the principal out there, and they are giving tours if you want to get out there and see what it's all about.
Mr. Smith?
Thank you. Just another thought that came across me, and I thought about this our last joint meeting, and you all just kind of re-triggered it again. We are in the process of, in the middle of approvals of some world-class golfing facilities. And the talent that's involved across that slate of golf courses is some of the best in the world. It should be probably part of our conversation, at least with our applicants or our projects out there, that there should be some way we connect the dots between what you're doing at South Fork and what they're doing. One of the gentlemen was the groundskeeper from MacArthur that spoke about what they do and how high-tech it has become to manage turf and water and fertilizer and everything that they do at the very highest level of golf that exists. The other individual was Michael Davis, who's Eddie's the president of? Former president of U.S. Golf Association, right? Yes. And he talked about that and talked about how dramatically the industry has changed in the last probably 30 years or so. And so, again, I mean, from this collaboration between what can we do as a county, what can the city do, what can Indiantown do, if you're in need of access to that because we're doing something on our side that would give you direct access through PUD agreements, through other things that we do on this side, it could be really interesting. And I think Ed was the one, was it you who coined that we ought to be like the golf something capital of the world? I think it's an exciting time, and I think the opportunities are absolutely amazing. And again, I look forward to seeing what we can do. Thank you.
Commissioner Clark?
Hi, thanks. Thank you. I just wanted to ask the school board itself and our planner and our superintendent if there's any ideas of combining all of these technical education programs and having like a technical high school or comprehensive technical school or something like that for our county. You don't have to answer if it, but I just thought that it would be a good thing.
So
I don't know if other school board districts have that, but I know that I've seen other places that have a comprehensive technical high school. And I know that we have a lot of programs, but I'm thinking like if we could.
So I don't want to speak on behalf of my fellow board members on something, but it is the older way of thinking, where when you were in high school, you made a decision as to whether you wanted to go to the technical side or whether you wanted to go to the academic side, and then you got on whatever available transportation there was, which is a whole nother issue, that then delivered you to the correct site where you would get that type of programming. And the newer way in education of thinking is that all students, regardless of what their path is, should be able to be exposed to both sides, so that if you thought you were going to be doing something on the technical side, but you at the same time were taking higher academic classes, you might figure out that this is a different direction that you wanted to go, or the other way, where if you were on the academic side, you also could dabble in some of those technical fields to be able to figure out, well, this is a better fit for me. So the model that we have been using in Martin County is to have in each of our high schools, is to have programming in each of our high schools that, you know, and we don't duplicate it. For instance, the culinary program is at Martin County High School. Some of them are duplicated, but some of them, which require a whole lot of infrastructure, are in one particular place. But the trend in education recently has been, unless you get to a very large school district, is to be able to figure out a way to provide those opportunities or experiences for all students.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to?
That very well.
Well, if there's nothing else, thank you very much. So that's all of our items. Just any comments?
Mr. Campy.
I think Mr. Campy wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your card there, Ed.
She was thinking that even before I put my card up, but I appreciate that. Believe it or not, my presentation to this body was a year ago on essential housing. And for folks that follow along with our meetings might not have been aware, but a tremendous amount of things have been happening behind the scenes in all of our groups. We have formed, on the commission side, we have at least one agenda item a month to discuss what our staff is doing, because I've been using the expression, there's no single solution to our issues regarding housing. It's a puzzle solution. There's a lot of different pieces that will have to come into it. Rob Ranieri, who's here, is heading up a committee sort of outside of the government entities that has brought together not only Troy McDonald from the City of Stewart and Krista Lee Roberts from the school board, who just recently joined us, and the feedback that from her first meeting she gave us an update on what's been happening within the school district and her colleagues on the board is really encouraging. We've been working it on our side. We're thinking of like a multi-tier. First tier of this issue is homelessness and people that are, you know, temporarily living with friends or relatives, couch surfing, potentially living in their cars, or in hotels, or utilizing the services of, you know, a lot of not-for-profits to put them in hotels temporarily. It's a very transient kind of, not a great way to live, and especially not a great way to raise children in that experience. So that's the first level, the most urgent level. Mr. Ranieri, through House of Hope, a lot of his clients fall into that first tier category, and they need to be addressed. The second tier is people that are looking to rent either temporarily or will rent for their entire lives. They will not have the opportunity for home ownership. Some don't want it. Some would like it but won't get there through a multitude of reasons. So we're talking about some of those issues. And finally, at the full level, level 3 of home ownership, and what does that mean? And the other portion of this is it happens and it affects every person at every stage of your life. Children need to be in an established home so that they can go to the same elementary school year after year and not be bounced around, so that they can have a stable place to live, so that when they show up at school the next morning, they're ready to go. They got a good night's sleep. They didn't have to go through the trauma of watching their parents try to figure out where are we going to live. And even all the way up to senior citizens, and I had mentioned this once before, seniors that are quote-unquote trapped in a home that they own because it's the least expensive housing option for them, even if it's 3 or 4 bedrooms and the person's a widow, they keep that home because they own it and they don't know where else to go. They might not need assisted living, which is very expensive in most cases, so they just stay in a house that in generations past would have recycled back into the community for a new, younger family to come. I'm very encouraged to hear that we want to be the #1 school district in America. We're all impressed when we win awards and accolades that Stewart is the best coastal community to live. But when they print those in national magazines and they send them out all over, or if we have the best beaches in the state or in the country, people that are living in Minnesota and Ohio are thinking, we should go to Stewart, we should go to Martin County. The other group that we formed, and on our side, George Stokas is really our point person for all of these issues, as well as growth management, building, legal, engineering. We have a similar meeting, I guess cities probably do it, school districts probably do it as well, where Okeechobee, Indian River, and St. Lucie County commissioners, we get together once a year and meet. And wouldn't you be shocked to realize they're having the same issues in their counties that we're having here? So we formed sort of an ad hoc group of an individual commissioner from each of those counties and their key staff, as well as, the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council and homeless advocates. We met yesterday in Okeechobee. We've been rotating around, and we are collaborating so that each of us are not working in a silo to reinvent or invent some answers to these problems. And so it was a very productive meeting. The other thing that we've done, and we didn't really touch upon it today, is so much legislation has passed in this last session that will dramatically affect what happens here. The Senate Bill 102, which is now the Live Local law, incorporates a lot of issues, and most of you already are familiar with this. Our staff is still, and I'm sure your staff, sort of weeding through the 94-page bill that it was to figure out what positive benefits will our community gain from that and what negative benefits, as well as just trying to decipher what it is. So our group yesterday went through and tried to look at what potential issues could be and then what solutions there will be. I know the city of Stewart, and I've heard now that also the county has 3 or 4 projects that will pivot from what they were originally going to be to what they could now be with this new impactful, and when I say impactful, I don't mean beneficial necessarily. There are probably a lot of great benefits to that law, especially if you're Tampa or Orlando or Jacksonville or Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if that's the same thing for Stewart or Jensen or Palm City, but we will be affected by those. So we're working on it. I appreciate the collaboration from the other municipalities. Indiantown, a lot of exciting things are happening in Indiantown, and I've always used the expression that it's Indiantown's turn. So I don't know if there's the same hand-wringing for the development, both commercial and residential, that's happening in Indiantown. It's more of a welcomed kind of a opportunity in Indiantown than it might be in Stewart or in the unincorporated portions of the county. It's going to require a lot of effort. Some of those things will benefit the people, some of them won't. We've talked about tiny homes, we've talked about accessory dwelling units. Some of the low-hanging fruit are just decisions that individual boards can make in terms of altering their, the land, the LDRs and zoning issues. We're not going to try to disrupt the whole entire system, but giving people an opportunity to live with respect, especially if it's in the communities that they've grown up in. I think is all of our jobs. And so I appreciate the time to tell you that it hasn't been a quiet year, even if you haven't necessarily been hearing things. I very much appreciate the work of staff, all of the staffs, and my colleagues, to be continued, definitely. Thank you very much.
Okay, anything else? Then I believe the meeting is adjourned.